They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I'm back gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Back roll.
This shit gon' ride.
sharper than an ice pick on you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit.
Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go on, close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my way, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Dasani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. You can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Right. All right. If you can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, type a 1 in the chat. Let's see who all we got with us this Tuesday afternoon. Okay. I see you, Shell, Maria. Here. Shell, Maria, Chris Cook, I see you. Right, Supply too, if you could, you just log all the questions. Baba Kushar. Dizzy Dollars, I see you. Kawanaya, I see you, sis. Nazam. All right, look like we good to go on the sound. So let's go ahead and clap it up. That's right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Barak, a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal, a thumb Bahashim, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group or Christian organization, and we teach the truth according to the Bible. And what is the truth? There's only one truth. There's only one truth. There's no such thing as everybody has a piece of the truth or multiple people have the truth, because if that's the case, then it's not the truth. You understand? That's just not how the truth works. And I know we live in a society where everybody teaches that you have your own truth. You understand? Everybody teaches, well, that's my truth. I hear that a lot now, especially from that LGBTQ community. Well, that's my truth. The problem that you don't understand is because you want to be politically correct and you don't want to offend anybody, is that the truth is not subjective. The truth is not yours. There is the truth, and then everything else is a variation of the truth, or as my granny would call it, an outright lie. You understand? A bold-faced lie. You understand? There's only one truth. Truth is objective. Truth is universal. And that's why we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because what we read is straight out of the Bible. And that information, that knowledge, that wisdom in the Bible, oh, it's universally the truth. And it's practical. And it's the knowledge that we lack as God's people. And that's why you see our conditions as the way they are now. You understand? The truth is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, and the white man is the devil. That's in the Bible, of course, and we could prove it. You understand? I'm Precinct Officer 5000, Chaazaq Imad. I got Precinct Officer of 1000, Chaazaq. You understand? Trooper Izan, Young Man Gary. You understand? The sister in the back rocking and rolling with me this Tuesday evening. You understand? If y'all haven't done so, please make sure you like and share the stream. Hit that thumbs up, everybody. Let's do our part to push this truth. Christ has to be able to come back, but before he comes back, there are certain things that have to happen. What is the main thing that has to happen before Christ returns? And I need somebody to give it to me in the scriptures. What is the main thing that has to happen before Christ returns to save his people? I need somebody to give it to me. Shalom, Kappa. Shalom, Trooper Shalat. I see you. Mario, I see you. You understand? If you haven't done so, make sure you hit that thumbs up, like and share the stream. Let's push this truth. Let's do our part. What is the main thing that must happen before Christ comes back to save his people? That's right, sis. Kappa said the man of sin must be revealed. You understand? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. This is important. This is why we don't say like and share the stream, because we vain. You need a Bible, mighty man? Okay, he gonna get one for you. And that's okay, either one. It's up to you, whatever one you want to use. Okay, it's up to you. He could get you a Bible still, just so you can have it too. Yeah, don't sweat. You understand? Y'all think, some people, you may think, we asking you to share the class and like the class because we're vain. That's not why. We don't need you to share a goddamn thing. You understand? I'm just telling you straight up. Nobody begged any of us in here to be in here at all. You understand? Everybody that is currently watching the class or that's currently in class is here because they heard the voice of God. That's it. Nobody pulled our arm. Nobody coerced us, made us be here. So whether or not you share the class or not, that's on you. But we have a job to do, and you sharing the class is helping this to happen. You understand? Please, Isaiah, if you come and hit that fan again, it's toasty in here. It's a lot.
What chapter?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Yes, start at verse 1, please.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ.
By the coming of who?
Of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now let's skip down to verse 3, because this is going to tell you what we just read. I thought Christians' entire doctrine was about Jesus coming back. That's what that's what I thought it was all about in the church. Jesus coming back to rapture the saints, to get caught up in the cloud, to save us all. You understand? What you find out is Christians don't want Christ to return. Christians don't want the Jesus Christ of the Bible to return. because Christians stop us from doing this. Please go to verse 3.
Book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come.
That day shall not come. We just read in verse 1 the day it's referring to. What day? The coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. It just said it in verse 1. Jesus Christ cannot return, cannot come and fulfill the prophecy of saving his people and rendering judgment on earth. That day cannot come. Go ahead.
Except there come a falling away first.
Except there come a falling away. What?
Falling away first.
First. This must happen before Christ comes. This is what you don't understand. Anybody that tells you to not say the white man is a devil is antichrist. Anyone that tells you that we shouldn't focus on calling the white man the devil. See, we got to stop blaming the white man. We got our own problems, and you don't understand the white man being the devil is our problem. That is the center point of our problems. You don't know you are God's chosen people because the white man is the devil. The word devil means deceiver. And you grew up believing you were a nigga in the ghetto, a spick in the barrios, a redskin, a savage on the reservations. You believed you were everything but what God said you were. Why? Because there was someone lying. You understand? Lying the entire time to make you believe that they were God, to make you believe that they were chosen, that they were special. No. This is exactly why the Bible says before Jesus Christ can return, this must happen first. There must be a falling away. What is the falling away? What is the falling away that must happen? Please, brother, if you could.
Turning away from Christianity and any other false religions or
That's
beliefs.
correct. That's correct, brother. Turning away from the things that stop you from viewing the white man as the devil. How come we don't view the white man as the devil? This is very simple. Go ahead, brother. You get the mic, please.
Because most of us indoctrinated with the white man.
The water. I was waiting for one of y'all to tell me, hold this up again. That's what I was waiting for. So like I said, hold that back up. This is why. This is why you don't know or don't believe or don't want to accept the truth of the matter, that this is our enemy. If this were a Chinese man, we would call the Chinese man the devil. This is not personal to white people because they're white. If this was a Chinese image, we would call the Chinese man the devil because he's lying too. If this were Arab, we would call the Arab man a devil because he's lying too. But it just so happens that the white man painted our savior, our king, in his image when the Bible says he looks completely different. And that matters. The falling away is us leaving the religions, the strongholds, what the Bible calls the philosophies that have destroyed us into believing the white man is God. The white man is our savior. The white man is the hero. That falling away must happen. Keep reading.
And that man of sin be revealed.
And that man of sin be revealed. This is a bedrock scripture right here. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. I love the whole Bible, but brother, there's just about 10 scriptures that I can put that if I had to just read these over and over, they would be on my list. This is one of them. Because this right here is what we all should know. In order for Jesus Christ to come back, if you want Christ to come and save us and to put everything back in order on the earth and to end abortion, to end poverty, to end the way we die and the suffering and the black on black crime and Hispanic on Hispanic crime and all the suffering and the reservations, all the problems that you go through in life. If Christ is to come back, this is telling us how it has to happen. What must happen first? The man of sin must be revealed. I love this because everybody always says, well, there's bad in every race. White people love to say that. It's bad. There's bad people in every race. Yeah, but if we were to do a poll, a worldwide poll from every nation, and we asked if you could get rid of one race of people to fix the world's problems, who do you think everybody would say? Worldwide. Please.
White man.
The white man.
Yeah, the white man.
The white man. Type in the chat. Type in the chat. If we had, this is your own opinion. You don't have to answer by what you think we want to hear. This is based off of your own opinion. Type in the chat. If you had to get rid of one race to improve the entire earth, not just America, if you had to get rid of one race to fix the entire earth, who would it be? Type in the chat. Go ahead, Shaprop.
So, Dr. If I may, I think it was also Officer Nadazab that was going around and asking people,
what's your least favorite race?
What's your least favorite race?
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, oh, white people. He was like, oh, I was talking about like the 400 or 100. And they be like, oh. But all of them was saying the white race.
Yes, brother. You act like what we say in here is so racist and so terroristic and extreme. Everybody thinks the same thing. Go ahead, brother. Get the mic, please, so everybody online.
And out of the whole world, who the most were race that everybody hate?
Exactly.
It's the white man.
It's the white man, brother. See, because a lot of us haven't traveled as blacks and Hispanics, most blacks and Hispanics have not left the country. You leave the country and you realize what they show to us here is not the reality. Go ahead, Isaiah, please.
Sir, if I may, can I just clarify also that not see, people think the white man is only like the Americans, but
right.
No, it's the Germans, it's
that's
the
right.
Spaniards, it's all them mofos. You know?
That's right.
All them.
The Russians, the British, the Australians, the Dutch. The water for clarifying that, because here's what they don't understand. What is happening right here in America with white people, they are doing the same thing over there. How can we forget the Jewish man? The Jewish man. You understand? Like you, again, because we're not traveled, we're not well traveled as a people because of oppression. Our bubble is small in how we think. If you go travel, brother, you'll realize the white man is the devil everywhere, and they can't stand him everywhere. Do you know how long there's a base in Japan, a military base? I used to know the name of it on top of my head. It doesn't matter. There's a United States military base in Japan. Brother, do you know how long Japan has been petitioning to get that damn military base off out of their country? Because they said that ever since the white man came there, there has been so much more crime, so much more murders, rape, robberies. The Japanese can't stand the white man. You think the Japanese forgot about Nagasaki and Hiroshima? They haven't. The Afghanis can't stand the white man. The Iraqis, the Africans, the Arabs, the East Indians. You just don't see it because Hollywood here in America. Hollywood will have you believe they are Superman, when really the white man is Homelander, if you know the reference. Understand? They're the villain on the earth. And everybody agrees, but it's the thing that we can't talk about because they have power. You understand? They're like the bully. They're like Debo and Friday. Everybody knows this cat is the problem, but you know you got to watch your mouth because Debo will tune you up for saying that. You understand? Shalom, Sharab, Bath, I see you. You understand? Look at the comments. Shell said the white man, woman, and child. I know that's right. Kappa said the white man. Trooper Shalat said Pinky, aka the white man. Maria said white people hands down. Don't even have to think about it. Chris Cook said Edom. Mario said white peoples. You understand? It's just you can ask this in any country and you will get the same answer. You know who will say something different? White people. That's probably the only people who will not say white people. And that's just because it wouldn't make sense for them to self-accuse themselves. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
Like, you know, I always notice, and this is a whole spirit with them because they rule. White people, when you ask them a question and everybody, the truth pops in everybody's head and anybody can just outright answer it, they'll find a way to not answer it directly and sidestep. Right? Yeah. I found that most people who love white people, they have the same spirit. If you ask them a direct question, it's obvious, you know it.
Yeah.
They will do everything that they can not to answer it.
That's right. That's in the Bible. Precept. John 8 and 4, you ain't got to get it. John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father, the devil. He was a murderer and a liar from the beginning. The lust of your father ye will do. Yeah.
We do have one. It's like a question.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Like we having a little jam up on Facebook. Hold on. Let me appeal this real quick. Yeah, somebody been doing this every week. That's no sweat. Okay, let's put that appeal in. Let me see what we got here. Y'all got to make sure y'all like and share the stream extra now, brother. They trying to stop this from being seen. Go ahead, Azan. Mark Zuckerberg, Jewish cat, the white man, the water. Give him a hand. You understand? If we were up here talking about murdering other black people and murdering Hispanics and sleeping with our women and throwing them away, if I was on camera smoking the blunt and passing around the blunt and doing lines of cocaine and talking about Percocets, this stream would never get taken down. Go ahead, brother. Yeah. Yeah. But the moment black and Hispanic men stand up and say, to hell with your deviant culture, Mr. White Man, we are going to come back to our righteous culture. All of a sudden, that's offensive. And it's offensive because our oppressor understands this scripture. Read it again from the top, please, brother. Shalom, Arawadi, I see you.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
The son of perdition. There's a man that is recognized as the man of sin. There's a man that is recognized as the evil one. There's a man that is recognized as the problem on the earth. That's the man of sin, the son of perdition. You might know what the word perdition means. Go ahead, Azan.
Form of destruction, sir?
Yes. Understand the book definition they have right here. Eternal damnation. That's what perdition is. Eternal damnation, meaning there's a race of people, brother, who are not promised any mercy. They're going to get back everything that they've done, and then they're going to be cut off. And that's in the Bible. Of course, I can prove it to you in so many scriptures. You understand? Where's Shapat? What you at?
I was about to say that's you can go anywhere to find that.
Oh, yeah. That's this author of the Bible. But of course, this sounds like racism and hate speech to those who don't know the Bible. That's all. Before I came in here, brother, I would listen to the UPK and it would offend my Christian heart, brother. It would offend my Christian heart because it went against everything that I was taught growing up. How could brothers be speaking like this about one of God's people? Jesus, God created us all. God, we're all God's children. We all sin. There's bad amongst all races. All that Christian garbage, brother. And guess what? I had to sit and listen and keep listening and realize that everything the brothers in here were saying was coming to life in real life. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of the Bible. If you just can erase the glasses of religion, understand religion, what it does is it puts rose-colored glasses on your eyes so that you're not looking at life for what it is. Once you get rid of the glasses of religion and just look at what's right in front of us, brother, the Bible is just perfect. It makes perfect sense. It's like, oh, this aligns with this. But religion causes you not to look at things for what they are. And that's why Christianity is not only satanic, it is not practical. It's not practical to be a Christian or to believe in the doctrine of Christianity. Let me ask everybody this a question. If you have kids or you have nieces, and if you don't have kids, nieces and nephews that you care about, Would you teach them to go to school to love and accept everybody? Or would you teach them to protect themselves? Which one would you teach? That's right. Raise your hand next time, but go ahead. To protect themselves. Everybody knows you're doing your child a disservice and teaching them to go to school loving everybody. Because why? Everybody doesn't love them. There are people that are enemies, that are bullies, that have ill will against them. Why would you tell your child to go and love everybody? You're ill-equipping your child. It's not practical, and that's the church. That's Christianity. You understand? That's right, Trooper Shalat. Protect themselves. That's right, Kapa. Shalom, Kayabath. Shalom, Clyde Marshall. I see you. Go ahead, Shapat.
Like, if I may, I had a way that it tied into what you said, but I forgot that. If I could share one of the battles I had yesterday real quick, the Christian minister that I was on my slave, he tried to pull Acts 2:38 to try to say that all men and whosoever and all that. And I said, so you believe in context, right? If you're reading a book,
right, you
have to have context. He said, yeah. I said, so let's stay in that same chapter and go up to verse 21.
Right.
And I went up there where it said, and whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. And he was like, yeah. And I said, hold on, brother. The very next verse, verse 22, it said, "O ye men of Israel, hear these words."
That's right.
And so I said, I told him, I say, so everything you read from here on down to verse 38,
right,
is talking to Israel, not everybody else. Stop giving away our birthright.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's practical. It is so practical. And again, Christians don't read the Bible for what it is. They're reading the Bible trying to make the Bible fit into what they have been taught, instead of now making your life and your belief fit into the Bible. And that's the problem. That's why if you've ever seen a UPK debate anybody, it's an easy debate, because we're just looking at the Bible the way the Lord intended it. We're just looking at it straight for what it is. And the Lord gives that understanding through the Holy Spirit. You understand? Christians don't have the Holy Spirit. You have the spirit of this world, because you're trying to make God's words fit into a doctrine, a religion of this world. And because of it, you're going to lose every single time, because what you're saying is not in there. It doesn't make sense. You understand? Shell said, my coworker is still saying King James is white. What page in the Reunion Christendom book says that he is black? I'm not sure about what page it is in there, but this is what you tell your coworker: prove King James is white. You understand that? A lot of times, because some of y'all are so sincere, you make the burden of proof be on you. Make them prove it. I ain't got to prove he's black. Not saying to you, shit, sis, because we could prove it for sure. You understand? That's another good book. Tell them to prove he's white. Who said King James was white? The same people that said King James was black. I mean, that he was gay. The same people that said Christ was white. You understand? Xavier said Jesus was brown. Where was he born? What does it matter what skin color he had? Well, you just said he was brown. So how can you say what doesn't matter if you just made an assertion on his skin color? If his skin color doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter if he was brown or black. My question to you, Xavier, is if the color of Christ doesn't matter, why do we have a white Jesus? Xavier, please just answer that question for me. If the color of Christ does not matter, why do we have a white Jesus? You yourself just said he was brown. This is not a brown image. So why do we have a white image? And why is it that almost every depiction of Christ in mainstream media looks like this? He said it's white Jesus, not Jesus. Xavier, you just said he was brown. So if you just out of your own mouth admitted he was brown, how could this be Jesus when he's not brown? Come on, Xavier, don't play games over here. You understand? You're not playing with idiots. He said in America. In America what? Shalom, Shapar, I see you. Give me Job 9:24, please. Let's go into it. And then Shell, Tell them, Xavier, you say, now he's saying, who cares? That's what they love to do. The moment they can't prove it or they get cut, now it's who cares? You do. You brought it up. You literally brought it up. You care. And guess who else cares? White people care. White people care so much about the color of Jesus Christ that they lied and painted Jesus Christ in their image when the Bible says Christ is not white. You understand? The Bible says that Christ looks completely different than what white people have depicted him in every movie, in every picture. Go ahead, Shapat.
Like if I may, knowing that it would be a time that people would be thinking differently from the truth. The Lord cared enough to have it put in the Bible twice in the Old and New Testament.
Well, we about to go into it to show just how much it does matter. You understand? Please, whoever has it, Job 9:24. The mic, please, Shapat.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The Bible is telling us right here, the people that run the earth are not righteous. The people that run the earth are not God's people. The people that run the earth are wicked. You want to know who the wicked is? The Bible is going to tell us who are the wicked. Who is the man of sin? Who is the son of perdition? Is getting ready to tell us right here. Please keep reading.
He covereth the faces of the judges.
He covereth who?
The faces of the judges.
He do what?
Covereth the faces of the judges.
This is talking about this. The judges, and everybody in your own words, what is a judge? You got to be able to be very concise and succinct on describing this. In your own words, what is a judge? If you had to describe what a judge is, please, brother, go ahead.
Supposed to be a leader.
That's true. But that doesn't really help to hone in on if you had to describe a judge. Need somebody to describe. Go ahead.
Someone who determines your punishments.
That's true. Give me more. Based off of what?
Your actions.
That's true, but your actions compared to what?
The way you live your life or the things you've done, sir.
I got you. Let's get a brother another shot.
Your gatekeepers.
Yes, according to what?
According to the Bible.
You on to it. Let's see. Warren said ruler. Okay. Trooper Shalat said giver of the law. That's closest to it, what you need. Sharabat said a person of high reputation. That's what they're supposed to be. Grisha Manawaf said someone who enforces the law. Her and Shalat are the closest. Xavier said authority. That's true. Maria said someone who rules a decision between two parties on a law. You understand? That's probably the closest so far. Bobby said judge have the final say. A judge is someone who makes a judgment based off of the law. There's three branches of government in the United States: the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. Now, I know I'm taking y'all back to civics class. Do you remember what all those three functions are for each branch? The executive branch, the president, enforces the law. The legislative branch, the Congress and the Senate, create the laws. The judicial branch does what?
Execute
the law, the water. You understand? That's what a judge is. A judge is someone who makes judgment according to the law. It's so important. Shalom, Kwamadar, see you. Shalom, Ramak. You have to understand that, because a Christian will try to play with you like, well, who are the judges? Who are the judges? The judges are the people who make judgments according to the law in the Bible. In order to understand who that is, you got to understand who was the law given to. Shapat.
At the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Please read that.
He sheweth his word unto Jacob.
The Bible says God showeth his words to Jacob. What are God's words? Hold it up. Hold it up. What are God's words? The Bible. Yes, the water. The Bible. God gave the Bible, his words, to Jacob. Keep reading.
His statutes and his commandments are to Israel.
His statutes and his commandments. It say commandments or judgments?
His statutes and his judgments.
His statutes, no sweat, and his judgments unto who?
Israel.
Unto who?
Israel.
The Lord gave the law, the Bible, and the punishments that come with breaking the law to one set of people, which means only one set of people can be a judge according to the Bible. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israelites. So now that we established who the judges are, the Bible just said that the wicked covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Meaning, you want to know who the wicked is on the earth, the man of sin, the devil? Look to see who painted over the images of the Israelites. Here we go. It ain't hard. Here you go right here. If this was a Chinese man, the Chinese man would be the wicked. If this were an Arab man, the Arab man would be the wicked, the man of sin, the devil, the deceiver. But it just so happens that the white man cared so much about the color, the race of Jesus Christ, that he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. That's what he did. Jesus Christ was an Israelite. Y'all know that, right? From the tribe of Judah. Jesus Christ was born from the same lineage as all of us in here, the 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus Christ was a judge. And if you don't believe it, he's coming back to render judgment, the judgment of God on the earth. Well, the Bible says the wicked, you want to know who the devil is? You want to know who the wicked is? They whitewashed, they covered, they painted over the faces of the Israelites, the judges. This is how you know the white man is the devil. This image that they use is the proof. They condemn themselves. Because this right here gives you exactly who you need to know who the devil is. Go ahead, Shapat. Yeah, what we got?
Oh, God, sir. Clyde Marshall said, "Can our oppressors be saved? Let's look at Esau in 2026. Esau at the University of Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, etc., voted against black members in Congress. A judge had to reinstate him."
I don't know what his question was.
I just went on the first part.
No,
Can our oppressor be saved?
Let's get into the scriptures. That's the topic of the class.
I got your precept, sir.
The water. It says the topic of tonight's class. So like I didn't even get to say that. This is I.S.U.P.K. Washington, D.C. Tonight is the Tuesday night brotherhood class. And the topic of tonight's class is who are the Gentiles and can our oppressor be saved? This is a very relevant topic because I'm seeing so much discussion again online surrounding who the Gentiles are, surrounding who can get heaven. We're going to break that down tonight. Whatever other questions you may have, get your questions in the chat, type them in the chat. Whatever questions you have in the class, please just raise your hand. Let me answer Shell's question about King James being black.
Okay.
Anybody know what is King James' family name? Let's get that. Let's get all right. I'll give it to you for time's sake. Student of Yahushua said, "What does grafting in refer to?" Okay, I got you. We'll answer that question as well. Who does grafted in refer to? Many say that refers to non-Israelites, but Yahushua said he came only for Israel. That's an excellent question that goes right into the topic. I will absolutely answer that for you. You understand? Let me finish this. King James being black. For those that don't know, King James was the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, and Henry Stuart. Let's give you a quick history lesson. Does anybody know what the original translation of Stuart is? I'm gonna give you a hint. It's German. Stuart, the word Stuart, I'll just give it to you. Stuart comes from Schwartz. You understand? In German, Stuart is just English for Schwartz. Does anybody know what the word Schwartz means in German? Somebody can look it up on their phone real quick. Schwartz. What does Schwartz mean? This is very important. You understand? I'm just I'm gonna give you a crash course on the history. That's right, Arawadi. That's correct. Let's see. Wait for Izan to get it in here. He's gonna look it up for us as well. Clyde Marshall said Stuart. Stuart is the English of Schwartz. That's right, fool the wise, swarthy or swathy, which also means what? Black. Schwartz or swarthy means black. Here's what you got to understand. Your surname, your family's name, usually came from what? I know our last names now are you're just giving your last name based off of what your parents were. But before, in times past, your family name was created. You could literally create your family name. How were your last name, your surname, how was it usually created? Shapat?
How your work, what you did.
That's one of them, by either your occupation, by what you did, or
by your lineage, your father.
Okay, give me another one. Izan, microphone.
Your slave master's last name.
That's true. And then the other one, your physical attributes or your family's physical attributes. You understand? I'll give you a perfect example. Shalom, not about. I'll give you a perfect example. If your last name is Smith, that's last name Smith was an actual occupation, a blacksmith. If your last name was Forrest or Woods, usually your family dwelt in the woods or the forest. Again, it's not, you understand? That's right, Leviathan, how you looked. It's not extra deep. It's times past, things were very simple. You understand? Your family was called by usually what they did, what they were known for doing, their job, how they looked, you understand, or where they lived. Go ahead, Izan.
I have a definition here, sir.
Please.
The Schwartz, the surname meaning originating from the German word Schwarz. It translates to black or dark.
It translates to what?
Black or dark.
Schwartz translates to what?
Black or dark.
You gotta understand something, man. We are not simple men in here. We're not men that play tamarines and sing and dance, but we are serious about these books and these records. And what we're reading has been studied and proven for decades. This is the truth. Schwartz means black or dark. King James' father's last name was Stuart, which is the English version of Schwartz, because their family was dark, were black. Just like if your last name is Johnson, you are the son of John. Your last name is Mills or Williams, you live close to a windmill. You'll be so surprised how simple it is, but this is just how people were. Your family name came from one of those three things: where y'all lived, what y'all did, or what y'all looked like. Go ahead, Shapat.
Like, I remember being a kid watching a movie called Spaceballs, and they was always talking about the mystical power, like in Star Wars. It was the Force, and in Spaceballs it was the Schwartz.
Yeah,
and come to find out the Schwartz mean black.
That's right. That's right. Schwartz mean black. That's it. What you'll find out is King James comes from a lineage of black people that ruled Europe. We weren't taught this because, of course, this would dispel the myth that we are savages, that we are uneducated beasts who without the white man, we will be civilized, swinging from trees naked. To teach that we ruled Europe for nearly 1,000 years dispels all the lies they taught about blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. What you'll realize is the time period called the Dark Ages. They're called the Dark Ages. Let's look it up. Just look up Dark Ages on Google and let's see what Google has to say. Type a yes or no in the chat if you were taught this in school about the Dark Ages. When I was in school, they taught us that the Dark Ages was a time period in Europe where it was dark because they didn't have electricity. Now, I know that sounds comical and so stupid, but brother, I remember being taught. I remember because history has always been my top subject. I always loved history. And I remember being taught that the Dark Ages was called the Dark Ages because this was before electricity and it was dark in Europe. Now, y'all tell me what you were taught about the Dark Ages. What did they teach you in school about it? Sharab Bob said no. Hughes Nathaniel said no as well. I understand. Shalom, Trooper Shakat. Shalom, Adolphus Last. I see you. Clyde says Schwartz in Hebrew and interpreted from Germany, but a Hebrew black like Niger, a dark Jew. That's correct. All right, White said no, it was about the Black Death, the bubonic plague, right? Shuba Shalat said la'ah. Mario said no. Hughes said there was a plague, I believe, right? That's another thing that they'll try to say. It was called the Dark Ages because of the Black Plague or the bubonic plague. Let's see, what y'all got on Google? What does Google say about the Dark Ages? Like, what's the top result? Maria said, I don't recall. Shuba Shalat said, I hated history. I loved it, brother. Whoever got it, somebody read. What's your first result you got for the Dark Ages? You don't give you nothing? No? Let me see. Oh, let me just see what they got. Dark Ages. The Dark Ages right here. I have to give you what they say right here. The Dark Ages refers to early Middle Ages, the 5th through the 10th century, a period in Western Europe following the fall of the Roman Empire. The term was coined by later Renaissance scholars to highlight perceived intellectual stagnation, but modern historians largely avoid it due to inaccurate, biased connotations. So what this is saying here is the term Dark Ages wasn't even called that during the Dark Ages. This term came in the period after the Dark Ages, called the Renaissance. Now I'm gonna show you how you know this is on purpose. They called the Dark Ages a period in Western Europe where there was intellectual stagnation, meaning there was a time in Europe where it was just not, where smart people didn't rule. Brother, this is white people telling you that they're telling you this is what niggas ruled without them saying it out loud. You understand? They still believe blacks and Hispanics are not smart and we have low IQs. Brother, even in football, entertainment, they don't even want black men to be a quarterback because they believe you have to be a certain IQ and intelligence to be a damn quarterback, to throw a ball. White people, you're full of arrogance. You understand? And they, Shalom Barak Wanah, they put this same white supremacy in coining the time period when we ruled Europe as the Dark Ages. I'm going to tell you why it's called the Dark Ages. It's because for nearly 1,000 years, black people ruled Europe. And that's not a myth. That's not figuratively or hyperbole. That's literally. Black people ruled Europe. Some people call them the Moors. You understand? You don't want to say the Moors because that term Moor just refers to dark people. You understand? Moor could be an African. A Moor can be a dark-skinned Muslim, like a dark Arab. A Moor could be us, the Israelites. So you don't want to say the Moors. You don't want to say the Moors taught white people how to bathe. Africans don't know how to bathe still to this day. Arabs are musty. Come over here, I'm musty today. Who are the only people that are clean that white people make fun of because we use washcloths? Black people, Israelites. So don't say Moors. It's us. We ruled Europe. We taught white people how to be civilized and how to bathe. You understand? That was Israelites. Let me get Shapat, then Izan.
It's like, if I may, on white people trying to always act like we're not smart and they are. You know what I'm saying? They try to condition it so we can be looked at it that way, because everything else that's on a physical eye level that you can see, it's clear that we're better than them.
Absolutely.
So they're trying to make it look like the one thing that they possibly can deceive you on. You can't just see a person's intelligence.
That's right.
Until you talk to them, understand the third. And they try to condition it so we look like that on face value, that we're not smart.
Exactly.
So they can claim, oh, but they're not smart people, we are.
Yeah. Brother, let me show you how sick the white man is. Type a yes or no in the chat, and excuse me for being vulgar. I'm just teaching. This is true. Type a yes or no in the chat if you knew that the Greeks believed if you had a big penis, you were low intelligence. Type a yes or no in the chat if you knew that. The Greeks believed, and they taught this, and they believe this. These white men, but that's why the statues, were they naked? All of them got small, shriveled up penises, because they believed men that had big penises were stupid and low intellect and savages. That's, brother, this is how insecure and low self-esteem these people are. That they had to just, brother, they had to just now lie about manhood. Well, he only has a big penis, but he's not that smart. And whatever you got to tell yourself to make yourself feel good, Mr. White Man. You understand? Go ahead, Azan.
Lucky sir. So I kind of wonder that about the Moors. People, when they usually say that, they just say that to like as a way to include everyone that's dark, you know, and like diminish the people of Israel. You know,
yeah.
People.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. The title Moor is a catch-all for dark people. And that's why you definitely want to avoid using that title when you attribute accomplishments, because what you'll realize is most of the great things that people attribute to the Moors was Israelites, just like in all things. You understand? It was Israelites. Moor usually was referring to a dark Arabs who were Muslims, North Africans, or Israelites, because during that time there's a lot of trade and interactions between those three. You understand? But most of the accomplishments you'll realize when they say Moor is referring to you. It's referring to us. Just like today, nobody says Moors are the best dancers. Niggas are the best dancers. You understand? Nobody says Jesus Christ was a Moor. Jesus Christ was black. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
One of the battles that brought me into the truth, I watched about 8 battles on Crossing Line Radio before I was like, give me the number, was Chaazaq battling the Moors.
Yes.
It's a specific type of Moors, but the whole battle was is the Moors the origin of the Israelites. I like saying like are Israelites just Moors, like black people.
Right.
They was trying to lump it all into one.
Yes.
But they end up Chaazaq end up proving that Moors were just like you named all those different people.
Yes.
They have a different biblical name.
Right.
Meaning we're not the same people. That they were a belief of different races of people, whereas Israelites are one race of people.
That's right.
And they end up proving it and making them look real bad.
Yes. You understand? That's right, Arawadi. He just said what you said, Shapat. Arawadi said Cat was battling the Moorish Science Temple. You understand, which are Israelites who want to call themselves Moors when you don't understand it's belittling as an Israelite to call yourself a Moor, because nobody else did anything great except you. So why put yourself, you know what it's like? If you're from this area, that's like a nigga from DC saying I'm from the DMV. That's kind of hard to understand. A brother that's from DC would never say I'm from the DMV because DC is the greater of the three. You know who wants to say I'm from the DMV? Somebody who's not from DC. They want to kind of be lumped. They want to lump themselves in with the prestige of being attached to DC. Somebody that's actually from DC will never say I'm from the DMV. Just like I'll give you an example for your state. If you live in Chicago, you'll never say I'm from Illinois. You understand? You'll say I'm from Chicago, even though Chicago is in Illinois. If you're from Philly, you'll never say I'm from Pennsylvania. You understand? If you're from Atlanta, you'll never say I'm from Georgia. If you're from Cali, Cali different, because most people say Cali got a different connotation. But if you're from LA, most of the time you're gonna say I'm from LA. You understand? Or I'm from Oakland. You understand? That's what it's like. To say you're a Moor is really, it's a slight. You understand? When you're the greater thing, you understand, out of the two. You understand? So that's what it is. When you go into the whole history, King James, for time's sake, King James was black. He comes from the lineage of black people that ruled Europe. The Catholic Church hated King James. Let me see that book too, please. KJ Verified. what you want to do is keep tuning in to class, and you want to buy Captain Katazar's book, KJ Verified. You understand? This is the true image of King James right here. This is what he really looked like. Does it look like a white boy to you? You probably, if you think it's like a white boy, you ain't got good eyes. That's a brother. King James was a black man. You understand? He was a certified black man. He wasn't in the truth, but he was black. And all the lies that exist about him was to slight what he did, to indirectly slight the Bible. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's like my mate, just like a black man. He was one that was fighting for his kind. He was tired of the Catholic Church lying to us about the Bible, saying the Bible in Latin and hymns. And they tried to assassinate him just like they do every other black man who tries to do something for his people.
Yeah. You understand? Go ahead, please, brother.
So was it 2 King James?
No. There was other kings that were named James.
Right.
No, yes.
Yeah.
But King James, this particular one who had the Bible translated, he's King James the first of England, King James the sixth of Scotland. So he sat on 2 thrones at one time. You understand? That's like if you work at a job, you might be so valuable that you have 2 positions at the job. That's what King James.
Yeah, because I heard that the white King James trying to mix in, trying to say that's.
Yeah, see, no, that's why you have he was the first King James of England. So there were King James that came after him. But the black man was the first King James of England and the 6th King James of Scotland, which means there were 5 other James before him. He was the 6th King of England. Excuse me. There wasn't 5 other. I'm saying that wrong. There wasn't 5 other James before him. You understand? It just means he was the 6th King of Scotland, the 1st King of England, first the title. You understand? So that's who the black one is. There of course were other James that were kings. You can look that up and pull that up as well. Go ahead, Shapat.
We got more questions.
What we got?
I believe you read one of them already with student of Yahushua.
Mm-hmm.
Who does graft? Well, we had Clyde Marshall. Can our oppressor be saved? I believe he was going to respond to that part. And then we got a student of Yahushua says, who does grafted in refer to? Many say it refers to non-Israelites, but Yahushua said he came only for Israel. Mm-hmm. And then he had a second question. Student of Yahushua said, Salakia, but I'm new to the truth. Does skin color or heritage matter more? Asking because I'm so-called Mexican, who my father would look white due to my mama. Salakia, if this is obvious.
It don't matter how you look, brother.
Right.
I wish I was I wish I would look white so I could offend niggas who was caught up on colorism. I wish I was. This is a carnal thing in me. You understand? Because I'll be wanting my brothers who are lighter skinned to understand you shouldn't feel no type of way about being light. It doesn't matter. You better be glad I'm not white looking, because I'll be saying nigga every time I get a chance. Fight me, nigga. Fight me. Yes, I'm a nigga too. Your skin tone does not matter. You understand? Don't get what we're saying twisted. The skin tone does not matter. When we say Jesus Christ is black, it's not to harp on his skin tone. It's to harp on his lineage, because that matters. Your bloodline, what family you belong to, that does matter. Brother, I got siblings. I have 6 siblings, and all 7 of us are different skin tones. My older brother has orange hair with freckles and is light in the same skin tone as our son. My older brother got orange hair. You understand? The nigga got orange hair with freckles. And I got a sister, brother, who is as dark as Captain Mashah. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
I always when I see brothers like that, brothers sisters, I always say, so you look like a banana.
See? That's why it's always fights. You understand? How a man supposed to respond after that? You understand? But that's the skin color. That's a white man's argument. That comes from white people to focus on the skin color. What does matter, however, is what family you belong to, what bloodline you belong to. And if you are a Mexican through your father, you are the tribe of Issachar, regardless of how light you are, regardless of how. That's outside. God damn.
The Balawan partying on that.
God damn, brother. Yeah, god damn, brother.
What's that?
Yikes. Okay. You understand? What you have to understand is it's not about your skin tone. What's the proof? There are dark-skinned people that are not us. All that melanin talk garbage. Being dark-skinned doesn't make you one of us because Africans could never be us. You understand? So again, you don't want to get caught up in the skin tone. You want to get caught up in the lineage, the bloodline, which is if you go to the Bible, that's what it talks about the entire time. Go ahead, Shapak.
I got a question if I made this kind of off.
Yeah.
It's a trooper Pathwa'ala.
Yeah.
In the chat. I just want to know, what does Pathwa'ala mean?
You gotta ask him. Trooper Pathwa'ala, what does your name mean, mighty man? Shalom Adam, I see you. Shalom, give back what you stole from Egypt to Israel. Trooper Pathwa'ala, I see all y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. They clipped us on Facebook. We appealed it. We're gonna see what happens. That's more reason why y'all gotta like the stream, share the stream. So we only rocking on YouTube right now, but that's okay. You understand? So now let's go where we at. So he said, this is what you need. I'm gonna come to the grafted in question and then the can the oppressors be saved question, but I want to answer these first. Go to I'm gonna do it in the order of the let me get Amos chapter 3 and verse 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out of order because for the topic's sake, because two of those questions are right on topic. You understand? Leviathan said King James' wife, Anne of Denmark, is the 9th generation grandparent of Queen Elizabeth II. That's excellent information, brother. You understand? Excellent information. When you go back and look at those family crests and the lineages, brother, they have been lying to us. Yep, Amos chapter 3, verse 2. Here's how you know. The UPK has been to Scotland. Some of y'all didn't know that. I want to say what, 4 years ago? Yeah, 2022.
That was 2022.
Yep. The UPK went to Scotland, and we guess where we went in Scotland? Shapak.
So the King James Castle thing was in 22.
Yeah.
It was that long ago, sir.
Time fly when you went here, brother.
Nah.
The UPK went to Scotland, and we went to King James Castle. So you can believe the lies all you want to. We've been there. We've seen his castle, and guess what they had on the castle, on the coat of arms? You ain't gonna guess it. Go ahead, Shapat.
Lions.
And what else?
And the Shield of David.
Not quite. They had a, go ahead. They had a lion was definitely there.
A bow, an arrow?
Not quite. A lion and a unicorn. Now, somebody can tell me what is the significance of having those two animals on your family crest. Go ahead, Shapat.
Those are the two leading tribes of both the kingdoms. The southern kingdom was called Judah, and it was led by Judah, which the lion.
That's right.
Is a symbol, and the northern kingdom, which was called Israel.
That's right.
And that name belonged. The birthright of the name belonged to Ephraim because he was the one blessed by Isaac.
That's right. Brother, you don't think they knew who they were? Why would you have a unicorn and a lion on your crest? Because they knew who they were. They knew this is Israel and Judah together. Come on, man. You can, again, the archaeology says something completely different. It's all throughout it's everywhere. It's all in your face. The only way you cannot believe this if you are holding on to what feels good. Because once you let go of what feels good and now embrace the truth, you'll realize, oh, this brother. I was walking in DC and I seen a statue and I'm like, this always been here, brother. It's a statue at Arlington National Cemetery. I forgot what it was. This me and Barack used to slave there at Arlington National Cemetery, and I'm looking at the statue and I'm like, I've drove past this so many times and I never thought to see that, okay, this is in our face. No, this is on a different part. But brother, once you let go of the lies and just embrace the truth, you'll realize it's been in front of our faces the entire time, all around us. That's it. And that's the evil part of how the white man lies. It ain't like he putting stuff on the ground. The truth is everywhere around you. You just have been put a veil over your eyes through religion. So now you looking at something, you ride past it every day and not even realizing, oh, that's something else. That sound like that's about this and that. Shalom, P. Fergo, I see you. All right, so let's read Amos 3:2. That's right, Arawadi. That's the term I was looking for. Hidden in plain sight, the water priest. Once you let go of the lies, you'll realize the truth has been hidden in plain sight. Perfect example of the Bible. We have had the Bible the entire time and never knew this was our records, our history, our lineage, our constitution. Whoever has it, Amos chapter 3, verse 2, please read that.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known of all the what?
Families of the earth.
Of all the what?
Families of the earth.
This is what you have to understand. This is not about religion. It's not about skin tone. It's about what family you belong to. That's it. And the Bible is telling us that God has only known one family. So it doesn't matter how light you are. You can come in here looking like an absolute white man. You understand? But you can prove your father is a part of this family. Nigga, you are brothers with us. You understand? It doesn't matter how you look. You understand? That comes from the white man. That's called colorism. And you should stay away from colorism, because what colorism will have you do is, okay, if we deny somebody because he look white, that's what's happening next. We're gonna let an African in here because he's dark like us. Nah, it don't work like that. I don't give a damn how dark you are. You understand? I don't care if we look the same because of melanin. I don't care about your features. A lot of you bug outs, you get so caught up on phenotypes and all that garbage. I don't care. You could look like a full-blooded African. If your daddy is a nigga, come on in here. You could look like a full-blooded white man. If your daddy is a nigga, come in here. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are one family. And that's the only family God has known. And if your father is a part of that family, you can look however the hell you want to look. You are a part of the people God chose. That's it. You understand? You out of the families, excuse me. Read it again, Salaki. I don't want to butcher it.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Keep reading.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. This lets you know this is a father. When you take your kids to the park, you don't whoop all the kids at the damn park for doing something bad. You hear kids cussing at the park. You understand? You don't say, hey, y'all come here. I'm about to wash all your mouth. No, you tell your kids, come here. Was you cussing with them? Yeah, I heard you cussing. You pop your kid in the mouth. You don't pop all the other kids in the mouth. Because I only know you. I don't know them other little bastards. You understand? I don't know them other little bad kids. I do know you. Because I know you, you about to get hit in the mouth because of what you said. That's us. Our conditions are the proof that we're God's people. Because we're being punished for living evil. That's why I hate when people always compare white men that are pedophiles to Diddy and R. Kelly. Well, you never seen the news coverage for white men. Nigga, why you... What argument are you pushing here? So we should be okay with our men being pedophiles? No, we shouldn't. Black men being pedophiles are going to get it worse. You know why? Because God said you're not allowed to be a pedophile if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American. It's the white man's kingdom right now. He's going to touch children, and he's going to be able to get away with it. Go ahead, Shapat.
Like, and I can only imagine the Lord say, because I said so.
Right. That's it. Because I said so. Why you want you? That's like your kid come to you, and all the kids cussing, and you tell your kid come here at the park, and you pop them in the mouth, and your kid say, "How come you didn't pop them in the mouth? They was cussing too." What the hell are you talking about? You understand? What the hell are you talking about? Why would I? What? That's the argument you make when you try to say, "Well, Elvis Presley had little girls too, and he still is." Who cares? You understand? We have a father. We have a power, the only one true living power. You understand? I got you, Ayaz. He said, could the reader read a little louder? Absolutely. He said, whoever reading, even though we got the mic, just nice and loud, please. Or why they said Jeremiah 12:9. Which one is that? Let's go to Jeremiah 12:9, and then what's the other two questions we got? Yeah. Somebody just
The
get
book
Jeremiah,
of Jeremiah
12.
chapter 12:9.
Yep.
My inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird.
Wadi. Excellent precept. This is one West. This is what I should have pulled first. You understand? This is an excellent precept, Wadi. I remember hearing this precept to cut that colorism garbage out. Read it again, please.
Concept. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. My inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird.
God says his people, his heritage, are unto him as a speckled bird. What does that mean? What does that mean? You got to be able to understand what this is saying. God says his people are like a speckled bird. What does this mean? Go ahead, Trooper Izan. Mike, please.
They're distinct.
That's true, but distinct how? That's right, Ayaz. Many shades. You look at a speckled bird. A speckled bird has different colors. It's not all one color. You come in here with that color. That's right, Kapa. We come in all shades. You come in here with that colorism garbage. You're gonna have your heart broken when you see brothers like Captain Kataza and Officer Madara and Azan in Milwaukee. When you see brothers who, if you were ignorant, you would think they were white boys. You're gonna get your heart broke. You're gonna wonder why we with him, nigga, because we read the Bible and we actually believe. It has nothing to do with the skin tone, because God says we come in all shades. Literally, we come in all shades. You understand? I can't wait till we get an albino up in here. You understand? Can't wait till we get an albino in here, Shapak. And I'd be looking for ways for everybody to see us and be offended. You understand? I wish we had more brothers that looked white. You understand? So that you can get the hell over your colorism, because you're so stupid and simple. The shades don't matter. I'm not, of course, I'm being facetious. I'm not saying we need people that look white because we don't like a particular shade. You understand? All shades are welcome. I'm just saying, I know that a lot of you struggle with that demon of somebody being too light. And so the best way for that demon is for you have to be confronted with more brothers that look white. That's the best way to fight it. You got to be surrounded by more brothers who look like they're white. And guess what? They're not white, because their dad is a part of this family. Go ahead, Shapat.
Like, I had another thing, but just on top of that too, and that man outrank you.
Oh yeah,
you got to say con out of one.
Oh yeah, that's what I love. You see Captain Kataza, you make sure, and he's such a hardcore nigga. He gonna make sure you give him his proper reverence. You gonna say Kana Wan Khan to Captain Kataza. You understand? You think he a white boy, he gonna let you know real fast, I am a nigga. You understand? And every brother, especially if you light skin, you should lean into that. Don't shy away. You brothers that's Mexican, or you Judites that's real light skin, don't shy away from that. Lean into it. Because if you don't lean into it, brother, you are going to let demons live in here. You have to lean into it. You Mexicans, say nigga. You understand? You lean into that because you're a nigga too. You light-skinned brothers like the brother who said from tribe of I.S.U.P.K, he real light-skinned Mexicans, light-skinned Judites. You lean into that too. You understand? Okay, imagine somebody is trying to make you feel bad for being a part of this family. I mean, I don't know about you. You got to push back against that. You got to push back. If not for your sake, for the people that's coming in after you sake. Somebody got to be strong and say, yeah, no. I'm pushing back against that. You understand? Of course, we don't have that problem in here. You understand? I do know people out there have that problem, but that gets sorted out when you get in here. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
It's a lot. You keep pushing my main comment to the side when you keep talking. You know what I'm saying? But if I could, I want to give it up to Trooper Azan.
That's right.
I love being that cat, Trooper Azan out there.
That's right.
For all the Latino brothers and sisters. And they see him, and I know they looking. They're like, what?
Yeah.
It's a Latino brother up there with him.
Yeah, brother.
And he's standing strong.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hold it down. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Trooper Azan and all the brothers that are from the tribe of I.S.U.P.K, all the Mexicans, all the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, El Salvadorians, Hondurans, you understand, Colombians, all the brothers that have the courage to be here when the world says you shouldn't be with them niggas. That's literally what the world, how do I know? I've seen it with Captain Osh. For years we'll be at camp and you can see the anger and the demon come over brothers and sisters when they see Captain Osh come up to speak. You can see it. It's like you was cool with everything before, but then he get up and he has the audacity to be with us and speak. You can see the demons come on. Brother, that's why we need more. You understand? Our people have to confront that demon of colorism. You understand? Because Christ said, I came to save all 12 tribes. You are anti-Christ if you reject a brother or a sister because of their color. You're anti-Christ. And you are the thing Christ was fighting against when he was here. He was fighting against the same thing. That's why he gave the parable of the Good Samaritan. We're going to go into it tonight to show you what that is. Go ahead, Shapak.
It's like if I could roll right into my comment, but Captain Osh leans right into it. He don't never speak English when he got up.
Well, that's
he
what
get up on that train and he speak nothing but Spanish, and then he get off the mic. You know what I'm saying? If I could, sir. And what you was talking about, I like to throw it in their face too. When I'm in the world, I love to wear the shield of David all on my clothes. I got a shirt that says, I serve the nigga God.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And the white people who can't stand to see that shirt, I make sure I put my chest up so they can read the whole thing.
Yes,
everything.
brother.
I'm talking about I might wear my headpiece out. You know what I mean? I love the show.
That's why. See, is it right there? What that top sign say right there?
This one?
Yeah.
No excuses.
You know, so that one don't say. What if no cowards on that? It's another. It should be. Okay.
Hold up. Nah, it's not a.
It used to be one that's right here on this podium, right on this pillar. It say no cowards. That's why to be in here, you can't be somebody that's timid or scared. This life, being in the truth, literally calls for you to be bold because you're doing and saying things and living a lifestyle that goes against everything the world will have you do. The world would never want to see black and brown men unite together. I read the comments on the videos. I read the comments, brother, and it lets me know that this is what has to happen. It has to happen because if the world is so much against this, that means this has to happen. You understand? If the world wanted black and Hispanics to join together, then you kind of got to be like, okay, hold on. Why the white man is cheering this on? The white man hates when black and Hispanic men get together because he understands he's not like you. He's not stupid like you. He knows what that means. He knows exactly what that spells for the two nations, the two kingdoms to come together. He knows that is exactly what Christ was here trying to do. That is literally the mission of Christ, for the two kingdoms to be joined as one. And to see that, brother, the white man knows exactly what that means. It's why they murdered Christ. It's why the government literally killed him, because you are not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to join these two kingdoms together and bring them back together as 12 tribes, one nation. Let me get Shapat and then Izan.
Salaki, sir, we got a question in the chat, and I think it goes right with what we're saying right now.
Yes.
Officer I.S.U.P.K asked, Salaki, sir, can we use Psalms 147, 19 and 20 as a precept? And I think he means for what we just read with Amos.
Yes, absolutely. You can use this as a precept. Hand the mic to Izan, please, too. Young man Gary, please hand that mic to Izan, please. The water, brother. You understand? Go ahead, Izan.
Salaki, sir. That's heavy what you were saying about black and brown being together.
Yes.
Because it goes against the narrative that the white man wants to push, which is black and white being together.
Right.
And so then when they see us together, you know, they're like, they're worried.
They're worried. And here's another one, not just black and white, but then brown and white. It's okay when Hispanic men get white girls. It's okay when black men get white girls. It's okay when Hispanic women get white boys and black women get white men. But God forbid a black man get a Hispanic girl or a Hispanic brother get a black girl. Go ahead, please.
Just like I said, the only time I heard Trump ever praising the Hispanics is when they joined ICE.
Yes.
Like, oh, they're doing a great job. These are beautiful people. Like, come on.
Come on, brother. Again, anytime a white man cheers you on, you're doing something wrong. That got to be your metric of success. If he cheers us on, something has got to be a little off. Of course, you take that, with every situation, case by case, but usually in general, if white people are pushing it or accepting of it, something is off. Because to do the thing that is right, white people are against it. They're against Hispanics loving their own and loving black people. They're against black people loving their own and loving Hispanics. When I say their own, of course, we are each other's own. Go ahead, Shapat.
And Martin Luther King got a grand gesture from him. He has a statue down there with the rest of the presidents in the middle of the national, museums and all of that. He's right there with all the rest of the president's statues.
That's the perfect example of what I mean. Martin Luther King has a statue amongst the presidents of the United States. What did he do that was so great? It wasn't for us. It couldn't have been for us because they wouldn't have gave him a statue. They gave him a statue because what he did was so great for them. Joining black people to white society benefited America. And that's why that nigga deserved a statue in their book. You understand? So where we at? Let's go to the other questions.
We don't know. Can the oppressor be saved? I believe Clyde Marshall.
Okay, that's the I'm gonna get to that after because that's the one that comes after.
The grafted in.
That's what I want. We'll get to that one first. So let's go to Romans chapter 11. So, and the reason I'm going in a certain order, just because it goes with the flow of the topic. Okay, it's not because one of the questions is not more important. I'm going as best as I can with the flow of the topic. Let's get Romans chapter 11. Barack Winah said they also trying to join Benjamin to the Hamites, and we falling for it bad. Yeah, you are not lying about that, sis. They are trying so hard to, even that whole Afro beats. You understand? That's why I learned when the brother out on purpose, when we go into a Benjamite spot and they playing Benjamite music, the moment they turn on Afro beats music, I on purpose sit down and show how disgusted I am. Because you ain't gonna try to blend in Benjamin with Ham as if it's one. It's a difference, and they're not the same. You understand? And they trying to do that real hard, especially out here in the DC area. You got a lot of clubs that are Afro-Caribbean. They got African music and Caribbean music, African food and Caribbean food. They trying to mix it as if they go together when they clearly do not go together. You understand? Whenever they turn on that Afrobeats garbage, I sit down. I look around and I start mean mugging. And I look directly at the DJ too to let them know I am displeased with this African garbage. You understand? Turn that good reggae back on, that good dance hall. I mean, he playing that music good. Okay, so what we got? Romans, give me where's the graphic in part? What's that verse? Start at 11. Let's see, Romans chapter 11, verse 11. Whoever read nice and loud, please. For everybody online that's listening. Romans 11. Let me see. That's where I want to start.
Might be before that.
No, it's a little after. Here's what I want. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Verse 24.
Okay. It starts at.
Hold on. No. It's at 20. Food of the tree. Some branches. 17.
Yeah, it look like 17. Let's start at Romans 11 and 17.
Come on, sir. Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 17. And if some of the branch, hold up, if I could, 16, sir.
Yes.
Come on, sir.
Nice and loud, please.
Come on, sir. For if the first fruits be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
For if again, to help you understand, what we get ready to read is a analogy, a metaphor. Most of the metaphors in the Bible are husbandry metaphors. Husbandry means farming. And that's because who we are as a people, that's who we are. We come from a people that farm, that tend the land, shepherds, farmers. You understand? So most of the analogies in the Bible are relating things to what we usually would familiar with. I know it's strange to us now because majority of us have never even been on a farm or you've never seen a farm in person. But there was a time period, brother, where this was the main occupation for all of our people. You understand? That's why I shout out to the Hispanic tribes. A lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters still are familiar with farming and agriculture. But there was one point, brother, in America where black people as well, that's what we did. You understand? That's why you meet certain Judites of a certain age, brother, they all seem like they know how to garden and knew how to plant stuff, because at one point in time here in America, brother, it's the same way. We knew how to tend to the land and farm. Well, the Bible's the same way. That's why most of the analogies and metaphors are farming. And what you're going to read here, this analogy is talking about a tree, farming. So now let's read that again. Romans 11, verse 16.
Oh God, book of Romans 11, chapter 16. Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
So if the root be holy, so are the branches. I'm going to break down what this means. Let's keep reading.
Oh God. Verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree. So
now, to give you some understanding, the Lord is comparing the children of Israel to a tree, a wild olive tree. For those of you that didn't know, olives come from a tree. Again, I'm laughing, but if you all you know is city life, you don't know that certain things come from certain things. Olives come from a tree. They don't come from a jar. You understand? What we're reading about is a wild olive tree, and the Bible is comparing the children of Israel to this tree. And it says, if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree. I'm gonna break it down. Keep reading.
Oh God. Boast not. You want me to keep going to the next verse?
Yes, please.
Oh God. Boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
Keep reading.
Come. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear.
So here's what you gotta understand. Go ahead, Shapai.
Can I take a shot?
Please. And it's only because of the way it's written, and then the brainwashing of Christianity is just hard to understand when this is very straightforward. It is okay. It's almost embarrassing how Christians misunderstand this because it is so simple. Please, Shapai, go ahead.
On con, sir. So in verse 17, if some branches be broken off, right? It's talking about those branches that are broken off, but those branches are from the original tree.
That's correct.
They are of the tree.
That's right.
So if the being a wild olive tree is Israel, these branches that are broken off are from Israel.
That's right.
And I hate to jump, but from where it says, because the unbelief they were broken off, these branches that were broken off. If you go back to the book of I forgot, was it Kings?
Second Kings.
Kings.
We don't go there. It's on the list. Don't worry.
Come concert, where the northern kingdom was taken off into Assyrian captivity.
That's right.
Because of their unbelief, and they follow pagan gods, and the Lord put them in the hand of the heathens.
Right.
They were taken off. Right, they're breaking off, right?
That's
so
right.
Now they're living like heathens, like Gentiles.
Yes,
they're not of the root, which was holy, which is Israel, which
That's
is
right.
our law, statutes, commandments, right?
Right.
So if you know what I'm saying, it says boast not against the branches. So the Jews in Jerusalem who were still following in the Lord, we called them Gentiles, and we didn't accept them.
Right.
Note like Timothy had to be circumcised to be brought in amongst them because they were looking at him like he's a Gentile.
That's right.
We didn't accept them. We called them Gentiles.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? They could be called a Gentile if they're living like Gentiles.
Right.
The same way, byword, like the N-word.
That's correct.
But it said, boast not against them, or that you bearest not the root. You're not being of what our law, statute, commandments is. You're not showing brotherhood, which is what Christ taught, with the whole everything the Lord was taught. You're not being of the root, and you could be cast out.
The water, but just to speed you up, and what you said, everything that you said thus far is absolutely correct. You understand? The Lord is comparing the children of Israel to this tree. Shapak gave you the rundown. I'm just going to fill in some certain pieces and then keep going on. We're going to go to it as well. Somebody hold 2 Kings. We still here, but hold 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 5. I'm going to get you the scripture of what Shapak just broke down, and I'm going to show you how the Gentiles were always the children of Israel. You understand? Now, of course, there's not an end all. There's not a catch-all. And we're going to get that too. Shapak, you got your Zondervan Bible Dictionary? Please have that ready too. So now, this is why it's saying boast not against the branches. This is talking to the branches that are still on the tree. There are branches that are still on the tree. How dare you try to think you're better than the branches that have been broken off? That's the point. The whole point of this is saying, if you were in the right spirit and you're a branch that's on the tree, what would you want? If you are in the right spirit, that's when it says when you have the root is the right spirit, the spirit of the whole purpose of the law. Think of this. If you are the branch that's still on the tree, what would you want? What would be the right thing to want if you are in the right spirit? What would be the right thing to want? Let me get the mic right here, please.
You would want the broken branch to come back to your God.
Give him a hand. You see how simple that is? It is. This is not rocket science, Christians. If you have the root, the right spirit of what Christ came to do, you wouldn't be a branch on a tree. Like, that's why y'all broken off. Look at how y'all live. Look at these lights. Look at these niggas. His mama white. That's why he like that. Look at these niggas. You wouldn't do that. The right spirit is, look at my brothers. Look at my brothers, man. We need to find a way to get them back on the tree. That is the spirit of Christ. And that's when it says the root. If you had the root, that is what you would do. You wouldn't boast against the branches that were broken off. You wouldn't think you're better than the branches that were broken off because you're still there. Why? Well, you're going to find out why you shouldn't boast, because that's what happened eventually. All the branches got broken off. During this time, brother, there were still branches that didn't get broken off. To give you understanding, Shapak broke it down. The kingdom of Israel was split into two. The northern kingdom, which were 9.5 of the tribes, you understand, and then the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and half of Levi. To sum it up today, the Hispanics and the Native Americans were the northern kingdom, you understand, and then Judah, Benjamin, and half of the Haitians were the southern kingdom. That split happened because King Solomon married heathen women. And so when King Solomon's son got in power, our kingdom of Israel, which were 12 tribes, literally split. The northern kingdom lived in Samaria. That was their rightful land. You can look at in the Bible, certain Bibles got maps. And I remember being a kid in church and looking at the back of the Bible, looking at the maps, being fascinated. You look at old biblical maps, they have the maps that show you the territories which each tribe had. The northern kingdom lived in the land of Samaria. The southern kingdom lived in the land of Judah. You understand? Samaria was in Israel, by the way. You understand? I was so much I want to get into. Okay, for time's sake, 2 Kings 17:5. Let's go there first. Let me just go into the scriptures.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria.
And went up to where?
Samaria.
The king of Assyria came in Israel. This is a heathen king, y'all. And he went to the land of Samaria. Samaria, again, was a city in Israel. You understand? But it was like I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the capital. You understand how Jerusalem was for the southern kingdom? I believe Samaria was the capital. Don't quote me on that part. But here's what you need. Samaria was a city in Israel. The king of Assyria went to Samaria, up to Samaria. Go ahead.
And beside it 3 years.
Besieged it 3 years.
Besieged it 3 years.
You know, that's like That's like when the United States sends the National Guard to our neighborhoods after a riot. This is what happened. This Assyrian king sent troops to take over and occupy Samaria in Israel. So that means our brothers that were of the other tribes up north, they were under the military occupation of the Assyrians. They were under, what's the phrase we call it today in America? They were under, white people hate this term. They're scared of it. What's the term? When you're occupied by the military. Nobody know? Martial law. Martial law. They were under martial law. That's what it is when you're sieged by the military. Our brothers in Samaria, in the northern kingdom, in Israel, were under martial law by the Assyrians. Keep reading.
Verse 6. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria.
Oh, this is what you need. This is I'm giving you who the Gentiles are and how they became Gentiles. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Israel. At first, our brothers were under martial law. And then, brother, they just full out say, you know what? We rounding up all these niggas and we shipping them away. Guess what? Guess what's happening now? What's happening right now? That's happening right now. What do you think the ICE detention centers are? What do you think ICE is? This is happening to the Northern Kingdom right now. Go ahead, brother. Microphone, please.
It also happened to so-called Native Indians.
Give him a hand. Good night. Give him a hand, brother. You're so right. They did the same thing to the Native Americans, rounded them up, put them on reservations, got them out of their own land and put them where they wanted them to be. Well, this happened to the Hispanics and Native Americans before. The Northern Kingdom before. It says right here, this king rounded up the Northern Kingdom and took them out of the land. Go ahead, do your thing, priest. Took them out of the land. And then where did he take them? Read it again, please.
In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria.
He took our brothers in the Northern Kingdom and carried them away into heathen land, into Assyria. Keep reading.
And placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan.
All these heathen lands, just heathen territories. He took our brothers, the Native Americans and the Hispanics, the Northern Kingdom. He took them out of their land and brought them into heathen territory. What you're reading about is gentrification too, as well. This is gentrification. You're going to read what he did when he took the Hispanics and Native Americans out of their land. Go ahead.
And in the cities of Medes, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord, their God.
This is why this happened. When the kingdom split into two, brother, the Northern Kingdom went after false gods. This is why the Lord allowed this to happen. What you're reading about is slavery, gentrification, martial law. All of this happened to our brothers of the Northern Kingdoms. Today, there will be the Hispanics and Native Americans. This happened because after we split, the Northern Kingdom followed wicked kings. And those wicked kings caused our nation, the Northern Kingdom, to serve false gods, to sin against God. And the Lord let that happen for a time period. But you know the Lord, he's merciful and patient. He's also terrible. That's in the Bible. And the Lord allowed now our Northern Kingdom brothers to get taken into slavery by the Assyrians because they sinned against God. During this time period, the Southern Kingdom wasn't sinning against God. And this is why you read scriptures where it says, don't boast against the branches that were broken off. Because imagine you are in the Southern Kingdom and you seeing all the evil they doing in the Northern Kingdom. Look at these niggas. Bro, they let niggas be gay. Bro, they let niggas marry. Because imagine you in the Southern Kingdom and you watching all the evils take place in the Northern Kingdom. And then finally they get taken to slavery. As time goes on, you're gonna be like, look, you niggas is not us. You understand? It would be easy for you to boast against them. Like, you niggas was evil and y'all went into slavery. Y'all can't. It's you can see why it says don't boast against them. Go ahead, brother.
And then as she's talking about that, and you look up today's the northern, they came here to so-called America.
That's right.
You know, the Mexican and the so-called Indians.
That's right.
And then so here come the old white man, do it again.
Doing it all over again. We're gonna read what you just described too. We're gonna read exactly what you just described. Keep reading, please, Azan.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
That's right. Keep going.
And had feared other gods. Verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen.
Guess what happened? This is how you become a heathen. This is how you become a Gentile. You live like a heathen. You live like a Gentile. The Northern Kingdom, brother, they weren't living like Israelites. They weren't following their birthright culture and customs. They wanted to live like the filthy bastards who they were around. And so the Lord said, you want to live like them? I'll just put you underneath them. I'll just make you a slave to them. That's you want to serve their gods. You want to act like them and have their culture and their customs. No sweat. There's no need for you to have your own land. I'll just put you in the land of the people who you want to be like. And I'll just make you serve the people whose God you serve. And that's exactly what the Lord did. He let these heathens take our brothers in the Northern Kingdom into slavery. Keep reading.
Whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel.
Right.
And of the kings of Israel, which they had made. Verse 9. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God.
Right. They did it secretly, but the Lord still seen it. They were sinning against God, brother, terribly in the Northern Kingdom. Terribly. And the Lord finally got fed up and repaid them for it. Skip me down to Yeah, it's all saying the same thing. This is all good right here in 2 Kings. This gives you what happened with the Northern Kingdom, how they didn't hear the Lord's commandments. They were doing all types of evil. That's what you're going to read. But we're going to skip down to verse 18.
Another one come. It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 18. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
When it says there's none left but the tribe of Judah only, it's referring to the Southern Kingdom, meaning the Lord allowed the Northern Kingdom to completely just get spoiled, to get taken out of the land and go into slavery. So now, instead of having two kingdoms, now we just had the Southern Kingdom. Those were the only Israelites that were still maintaining the customs and the culture in the land, because the Lord allowed the Northern Kingdom to get taken. Where you want to go is now let's go to see me down to verse 23.
Another one con. Verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
That's right. So it's just reinforcing what we read. When you read verse 24 and down, you'll read also when the king of Assyria removed the children of Israel out the Northern Kingdom, he brought in heathens to replace them. Gentrification. That's what they're doing in DC, Chicago, New York. They're doing it. It's the same game plan the whole time. They're getting you out the way and bringing in heathens. Go ahead, Shapat.
That's where you get the story of the Good Samaritan.
Well, that's why we have to read this part, the water. That's why the Good Samaritan parable that Christ gave was so important. And Christians use the Good Samaritan parable to try to say, this is why you can't worry about the bloodline. Nigga, Christ gave the Good Samaritan parable because it was okay, I'll break it down for you in a second. I don't want to get too far ahead. So now what you'll read is when the Lord had the children of Israel get carried out the land, the heathens were brought into the land of Samaria. So that's why when you read, when Christ says, go not into the cities of the Gentiles or of, give me that, Shapat. What's that? Matthew The go into the lost sheep.
10 and 5. So
Go to 10 and 5. Please, just real fast. I'm going to show you why Christ said this, because this might be confusing. You be like, well, why would, if Samaria was the land of the Israelites of the northern kingdom, why would Christ do your thing? Why would Christ say not to go to them? Because at that time, there was no longer the Israelites' land. There was heathens in there. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
In this book, Ben declared, this is our history.
Give him a hand. This is our history. This is real history, man. And that's what the church has failed to teach us. We've been holding this book and treating it like a soup, like I don't know what they had is treating it like. We haven't been giving it its proper reverence as God's words, as our history, our constitution, and our prophecy. Only in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General Yahanna do you wake up and realize this is our history. This is documented. All these things are documented too as well. The history of the Assyrians, all those good things. Shalom, Kara, I see you. Right? Please read that, Shapat.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of the Samaritans.
Christ said to his disciples, don't go into the way of the Gentiles. Don't go into the cities of the Samaritans. You know why? Because the people who lived in Samaria when Christ was on earth were not the rightful owners of the land. It wasn't our brothers from the northern kingdom. It was heathens that were brought in. So that's why Christ is saying it's no need for you to go to that land because it ain't your brothers up there no more. It's heathen. No, there's no need to go. Go ahead, Shapat.
If I could, these are Christ's own words, but I thought they said that the other people said in the church that Christ came for everybody.
Exactly. How could Christ have come for everybody when he's literally telling you, he's literally excluding people right here? Read that again, Shapat, nice and loud too, please.
Sir.
Tell them where you at.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not.
Here's the problem that you Christians run into. Paul said, I am an apostle of the Gentiles. Paul said he came to save the Gentiles. Christ said, don't go into the cities of the Gentiles. So now what does that mean? If you are a Christian, that now will make it seem like Paul and Christ had two separate missions, logically. Because if Christ said, don't go to the Gentiles, and Paul is saying, I'm an apostle sent to the Gentiles, wouldn't that seem like they saying two different things? Yeah, because you Christians your doctrine is contradictory. You would make it seem like the Bible is contradictory. Paul and Christ were saying the exact same thing. I'm gonna prove it to you. Give me Gentile in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, please. I know I'm jumping ahead, I'm jumping around. There's so much I want to get into, but I'm trying to make sure I hit the main points. If you have any questions in the chat, or if you need me to expound on something, please let me know. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, brother.
So, I was at work and we was talking about it, and I asked, brother, who you gonna listen to, Paul or Christ? Right.
Yeah. So that's what you do.
He couldn't answer.
He couldn't answer, brother. That's UPK 101. Because Christians believe Paul and Christ are saying two different things, now you have to put them in the hot seat. Well, fine. Who should we listen to then? Paul, who said he sent to the Gentiles, or Christ, who said don't go to the Gentiles? Brother, you want to see if somebody mind explode figuratively? Ask them that question. And I've done this a couple of times, and it always gives me joy to see them squirm and scram. I love to see it. Yeah, you understand? Because now they realize the error of their doctrine. So who do you listen to? Paul, who was sent to the Gentiles, or Christ, who said don't go to the Gentiles? And inevitably, they can't answer the question, because you can't call yourself a Christian if you say Paul. You're a Paulite.
Right.
You understand? And if you say Christ, then that means you agree that the Gentiles can't be saved, because Christ said don't go to the Gentiles. So you put them in the trick bag, and then of course you free them by letting them know Christ and Paul agreed. Paul taught what Christ taught. And I'm gonna break it down. Please read what you got for Gentile.
Gentiles, according to the Zondervan Dictionary.
That's right.
Usually it means
Hold on, read slow. Read it slow.
Come. Gentiles. Usually.
What's that first word?
Gentiles. Usually.
Usually. You got to slow this down for Christians because they're going to read this and they're going to skip over that. Usually, keep reading.
It means a non-Israelite people.
What does the word usually mean in your own words? What does usually mean?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, or the better term, most of the time. Most of the time, but guess what it does not mean? Shapat? All the time. Usually does not mean all the time. So here's what you got to help Christians understand. The word Gentile usually, most of the time, means a non-Israelite. That's right, fool the wise, trooper Shakat. Sometimes, typical, you understand? But there are times when Gentile does not mean non-Israelite. You have to break that down for Christians because it's going to blow their mind. To make it simpler, there are two contexts for the word Gentile. This is how you break this down. There are two contexts for the word Gentile. Most of the time, when you see the word Gentile, it's going to mean a non-Israelite. However, the few other times when it doesn't mean a non-Israelite, it's referring to Israelites that live like non-Israelites. And that's the only way Paul could be saying, I'm sent to the Gentiles, and Christ is saying, don't go to the Gentiles. That's the only way that can agree. It can't, if Gentile only had one meaning, they would be disagreeing with each other. Gentile has two contexts. The context when Paul said, I'm sent to the Gentiles, Paul was sent to the people Christ said to go to, but go rather unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So when Paul said, I'm sent to the Gentiles, that context is the Israelites who lived like Gentiles. When Christ said, don't go to the Gentiles, that context is non-Israelites. That's the only way that they can be agreeing. If that's not the case, then Paul and Christ taught two separate things. And I hope you know what that means now. That means we have to toss the majority of the New Testament out the window. Because if somebody asks me, do I follow Christ or Paul? Nigga, I follow Christ. You know, if you had to give me the option, and if they were two separate things, I follow Christ. And so because I follow Christ, now I have to do away with the majority of the New Testament because Paul wrote majority of those letters. Good thing we don't have to play that game. Good thing Paul taught the same thing Christ taught. When Christ said, don't go to the Gentiles, Paul didn't go to non-Israelites. Paul went to the Gentiles, the Israelites who lived like the heathen, the lost sheep. That's why they're called the lost sheep. They didn't know. They were living like filthy bastards in the land that they were in. Okay, so now we established that part. Where were we at before that? We weren't still in 2 Kings. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's where we at before. Okay. Now let's go back to Romans 11 then. We had up at the time, so let me breeze through some of these. Shalom, Zabak, I see you. You understand? If y'all haven't done so, everybody hit that thumbs up, like the stream, share the stream. Romans 11, where were we at?
We was kind of all over the place. We started went back to 17.
Okay, for time's sake, to answer the brother's question, grafted in, we ain't got to go to Romans 11.
Okay.
Go to Romans 11 and 26.
Okay, sir. Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
All who?
Israel shall be saved.
Go to Romans 11 and 1.
Okay, sir. Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin.
You see how I was able to go to two separate points in the same chapter? The same chapter that's talking about grafted in. You go to Romans 11 and 26. It tells you all Israel will be saved. You go to the very first verse of Romans chapter 11. It tells you God did not do away with his people. And Paul was telling you that. That's why he's telling you I'm an Israelite. Because if the branches that were broken off couldn't be grafted back in, Paul could not be teaching. That's why he's letting you know God didn't do away with his people. Hell no. Nigga, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. This is important to understand. He's giving you the context. The branches that were broken off were branches that were always a part of the tree to begin with, a part of the same family. The best way to put it is if you live in a house, some of you that got siblings, you probably really experienced this. You probably seen this firsthand. You live in a house and you got siblings, and one of your siblings is real rebellious and real bad and always getting whoopings, always getting in trouble, staying out late. What usually happens when they get of a certain age? What usually happens to that sibling? Go ahead, brother.
You kick them out.
The parent kicks them the hell out their house. Get out. You want to come home all times of night? You want to bring drugs in my house? You want to sneak girls in here? Get the hell out. Get out. Get out. That's usually what happens. Brother, as time goes by, what usually happens? Shapat, as everybody gets older and time passes, and that child that got kicked out suffers out in the streets.
They get accepted back.
They get accepted back, brother. And who imagine you being the child in the house and you don't want them to come back. You're evil. You are filthy. You know why you're filthy? Because you were doing the same thing. You just didn't get kicked out yet. Here's the beauty of the Bible and what happened to us. Here's what you don't understand. This is why nobody can boast, because the brothers who were boasting against the northern kingdom that got kicked out, guess what happened to us eventually? The same thing. 70 AD, brother. Those same niggas that was looking down at the Hispanics and Mexicans, y'all got kicked up. Y'all got kicked out the land. Y'all living like heathens. You speak a heathen language. You got a heathen mother. You all light skinned. It's because your daddy didn't follow the law, brother. All that boasting the Southern Kingdom did, brother. It wasn't like we was better. It's just that the Northern Kingdom did wrong first. That's it. We all did wrong. They got their punishment first. And then guess what happened? We got ours. And guess what happened to us? 70 AD. The Romans came in and now sieged us and killed us and then took us into captivity all over the place. So now nobody could boast because guess what? All the goddamn branches were broken off. You know what? You on this tree acting like you clack, 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 clack. All the branches is broken off. So now guess what has to happen? We all have to be humble. And we all have to come back to our culture, because if this branch can't come back, nigga, you can't either.
Right.
That's why the Lord that's the whole point of the grafting in. The grafting in, Paul was writing this letter to make sure the other tribes weren't boasting themselves against their brothers as if they were better. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
Talking about me, it's so heavy what you're saying. In verse 26, 27, can I read them right quickly?
Absolutely.
Such a guillotine.
Yeah.
Verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written.
Right.
There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness for Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them.
That's right.
When I shall take away their sins.
That's right. The Lord is telling you the entire time it was talking to the same people. Africans can't be grafted into a tree they were never a part of. Arabs can't be grafted into a tree they were never a part of. White people cannot be grafted into a tree they were never a part of. The grafting in is talking to branches that were broken off. Again, if you've never done this before, you don't even understand this. Brother, I've seen my grandfather, my late grandfather, my pawpaw. He had a peach tree. And it was a storm that came one time. And I went and rode my bike over to his trailer. And he was taking some of the branches that got broken off from the storm were still good, hefty branches. Like they weren't small, but they were good branches. And I remember he just tossed them to the side. I literally watched him cut slits into the main tree and then cut a slit on the branch, put it on, and then wrap some type of tape around it and put that branch that broke off from that tree back on there. And then after some time passed, brother, the tree reabsorbed the branch as if it never broken off. That's what it's talking about. It ain't talking about adding orange tree to a peach tree. It ain't talking about adding an apple tree to a peach tree. It's talking about bringing back the branch that was always a part of the tree. Making whole. All it is just making your family whole. That's it. You got a bad rebellious son, they get kicked out. Over time, your parents, over time, the kid that got kicked out, they get humbled in the streets, and then they come back and they have to apologize to the parent. Like, you know what? You was right. Remember when I was bad as a teenager and you kicked me out? And man, you was right. I wish I'd have listened to you. Now they come back humbled and corrected. And guess what? Now they welcome back. It's the same parable as the prodigal son. If you don't know what that is, the prodigal son parables talk about the same thing. All right, for time's sake, what else we had?
We had
Shalom, young man Tim. I see you. He said, my apologies for being MIA. Had some personal things I had to deal with. Happy to be back in class. No sweat, mighty man. Happy you back, brother. Lord allow me to see you in person one of these days. You understand? But it's good you back. What else we had?
Okay. Last question. Student of Yahushua asked Salakia, but I'm new to the truth. Does skin color or heritage matter more? Asking because I'm so-called Mexican through my father, but look white due to my mother. Salakia, if this is obvious.
Okay. Heritage is the only thing that matters. Heritage doesn't matter more. It's the only thing that matters. Skin color doesn't matter. We broke that down earlier. You understand? So now, somebody had the question about can the oppressor get saved, right?
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, no sweat. So now let's get to that. Let's cut to the chase on that one because we up on the time and I ain't gonna hold y'all over.
I got a precept.
What you got, your pilot?
Obadiah.
Okay, we got Obadiah. Somebody hold Revelations 12 and 21, right? Isaiah 14. We might have to save that one for time, so I don't want to go over too long. Okay, let's go to Obadiah, the one you got first.
Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
So now, before we get this, I'm sorry. Give me Jeremiah 31 and 31. This is for those that believe the Gentiles are non-Israelites that can be saved. This is for those. Give me Jeremiah 31 and 31. This is to bring the point home on that last point. I knew there was something else we're getting. Then we're going to come back to can the oppressor be saved? This is for that last point. There's so many other scriptures we could have went to. There's a whole breakdown where I could give you the rundown instead of who the heathens are, the history of the Gentiles, the scriptures, all this. It's all throughout the Bible. But here's to sum it up for you. What do Christians say about the covenant? The Christians always say that the old covenant with Israel was just for Israel. But the New Testament, the new covenant now is for everybody. Y'all ever heard that before? You ever heard Christians say that Jesus Christ died and made a new covenant so that now everybody can be accepted? See, at first it was just the Jews. It was just the Israelites. That's the Old Testament. But the New Testament, Jesus died and made a new covenant. So now we all can get a chance at salvation. That's beautiful. That's not what the Bible says. Please read Jeremiah. Whoever got it, Jeremiah 31 and 31. Go ahead, read nice and loud.
So the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant.
The Lord will make a what?
New covenant.
Christians, you're right. It's that new covenant we were just talking about. I'm not denying that there's a new covenant. The Lord said the days will come where there will be a new covenant. Keep reading.
With the house of Israel.
Oh, ho. Slow down, brother. You're cutting the Christians to pieces. Read it again from the top.
Sir. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah.
And where in that verse did it say that new covenant is for everybody? Again, you don't know the Bible because you're trying to force your religious beliefs onto a book that is not about religion. The Bible is a family book. And the old covenant was talking to the same family. It's not hard. It's a different contract with the same person. Let me give you an understanding of what it is. When you renew your lease, you're the same tenant. It's a new contract. Same person. You understand? You will be how else do you need me to break it down? It's the same tenant a new contract when you renew your lease. The Lord just renewed his lease with the same tenant. We will always be the Lord's tenants, his favorite. Go ahead, Shapat.
The Salaki, the Christians, they don't follow the Old Testament. They may need to hear it in the New Testament.
Yes, brother.
If I could.
Yes, you got it in the New Testament?
Please. The book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
What more do you want from me? You understand? What more do you want from us? It's in the Old Testament. It's in the New Testament. It's saying the same thing. The contract is different. The recipient of the contract, however, never changed. That's it. That's it. And if you can understand that, everything else will make sense. You can now understand the New Testament. If you can understand, this ain't talking to heathens. This ain't talking to Africans and white people and Arabs and Chinese people. It's talking to the same people who's talking to from the beginning, from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It's the same people. All right. So now that for those that try to say, the new covenant is for new people. No, it's not. The grafted in is for non-Israelites. No, it's not. Please, what you got, brother? Your pop microphone.
Scripture saying is that what's that exactly?
Zephaniah
said to gather yourselves together. You gather together, O nation, not desire.
That's an excellent precept.
You know who not desire.
We should. It's it. Everybody is the one not desired. There are a certain race of people that, no matter what we contribute and what we do and what we give and sacrifice for, we're never accepted. Brother, do you know what demographic of people make up the largest concentration of the United States military? Anybody know? Anybody know? Just take a wild guess. Close. A lot of people don't know this. I know this because I've seen it firsthand from being in the Esau military, and then I looked it up. And it's been like this for a very long time. Native Americans. Native Americans make up the highest per capita of Esau's military, meaning if you were to compare their population with how many of them serve in the white man's military, so many Native Americans serve in Esau's military. And guess who's coming in right after? Blacks and Hispanics. It doesn't matter our contributions and our sacrifices. We're still hated. We're still undesired. We're never appreciated for our work and the way we make this place run. We are the nation not desired. And that's why the Lord told us, don't join with everybody. Join with your fellow brothers. You know what I always recognize? I tell people all the time, I didn't grow up around the other tribes. I only grew up around Mexicans and white people. Judah, Issachar, and Esau. That's who all I grew up around. And you know what we realized? You understand? Us and the Mexicans, nigga, they treat us the same. Of course, we didn't know the truth. We didn't know that we were the same. You understand? Even though we live the same, but we recognize they treat us the same. And because of that, brother, I grew up real close with Mexicans because we at least understood as niggas in the world, okay, we getting the same short end of the stick here. Now imagine how much more we would have known it would make sense for us to join together. Carnal, hermano, Cuzzo, you understand? Go ahead, Shapat, then Izan.
So I got the facts about it.
Please.
Come, sir. Highest per capita military service demographic in the U.S. According to the National Indian Health Board and Demographic Analysis, Native Americans serve in the U.S. military at about 5 times the national average.
Yes.
This means that relative to their share of the U.S. population, about 1.4%, Native people make up a much larger portion of the military force, roughly 1.7%.
Which means what? Usually, if you run into a Native American, usually they've been in Esau's military. That's what it means. It's comparing their share of the population to how their share of enlistment in Esau military. And for their population to be so small, brother, most Native Americans enlist in Esau's military. Then you got to ask yourself, the people who have been disadvantaged the most here by Esau serve the most. That's who we are as a people. That's who we are. And it's not a slight to us. It's a slight to Esau. Because you would think that the Native Americans would have much more appreciation in this place, much more love and acceptance, but they don't. Understand? Go ahead, Azan.
How you grew up with the Issachar, that's how I grew up, but with Judites.
Exactly.
You know, and then when I started, getting older, you start hanging out with, you're kind of like your own people.
Yeah.
Stuff. My black friends be like, oh, look at Luis, so
Yeah.
Hey, look at Luis, he think he amigo now.
Yeah. They calling you out. You switching up on us, nigga. What's up? You understand? That's how you describe it. Is how I came up with Mexicans, brother. Like, okay. And now I understand it's different. People grew up differently. I'm just saying I never understood the beef between blacks and Mexicans because my personal shared experience has always been we got beat up by the police the same. We got profiled by the police the same. You understand? We got high the same. We got drunk the same. We partied. We were together. You understand? And so the Bible already told us, brother, we should just come together amongst our people. Everything is already set in place to let you know. I mean, it makes sense. So where we at? Let's go to the other scripture now. Can white people be saved? Let's drop Obadiah. Let's get straight to the point. So, like, for time's sake, let's go Revelation 12 and 21. And I know if you've heard this before, you understand. If you've heard this before, I know you it's not new to you, but this might be new to somebody else. You understand? Here's what you need to understand. Revelations 12 and 21, please.
21, sir?
Is no 21? Hold on. 21. Is it 21 and 12? Please, Revelations 21 and 12. Salakia. Yes.
Book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 12. And it had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the 12 gates, 12 angels.
Stop right there. So now, if you read up a couple of verses, you'll see that this is describing the new heaven. Again, Christians, you teach and believe that this is what you want. This is what you're waiting for. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is what you Christians claim to want and believe in and pray for. Heaven is going to be here on earth. You understand? Because heaven is a physical place. You don't die and then you don't get to enjoy life after you die. That's what the slave master taught us. You got to die to have some peace and love and joy. No. You didn't have to die to get peace and wealth. You have it right now off of our backs. Well, that's just how things work. Heaven and hell are right here on earth. And the Bible is describing the literal physical kingdom of heaven. It's going to be a city. The Bible describes it, that new city, that city. It's going to be a city, brother. You understand? And the Bible just where we at? Let's go up to verse. Just give some backdrop. Give me a good verse to start at. We at Revelations 21.
One, sir.
Okay. We'll start at read verse 1.
Sir. Book of Revelation, chapter 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. There was no more sea.
So now this new heaven and new earth is referring to what? You got to know context. What is the new heaven and new earth? Go ahead.
Rulership. Heaven will be rulership, and the earth will be the people who had servitude.
Yes.
And the way it was at first, it's gone. It's a new way now.
The water. That's the best way to sum it up. The current order of society. A new heaven and new earth is saying those that were up high are not going to be up high anymore. Those that were on the earth that were low are not going to be low. This vision that John is having, he's seeing a completely turning of things upside down. That's what the Bible said in Isaiah. Heaven is not going to be us all together happy. Heaven is going to be the literal turn of things upside down. That's why you have scriptures like the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Thou shalt be the head and not the tail. Those scriptures are giving you insight to what heaven is going to be. Heaven ain't going to be no equal democracy when we all joining hands. No. That wouldn't be just. Heaven is we're starving now. You're eating. Christ is coming back so that we eat and you starve. That's heaven. And I know that's so hard for you to understand, but really, You're a hypocrite because you exercise this in your day-to-day life. Some of you, somebody cut you off on the road. What you do in your simplicity? You speed up and cut them right back off. You trying to get to heaven right now. You understand? So don't act like now this is unjust. You do this in small, petty ways in your everyday life. You understand? Go ahead, Shafar.
Can I just get a check-in?
I think that's for all of us, brother. I'm guilty of it too.
Salak Mabedo.
Go ahead,
right here in the verse, it says heaven, the first heaven, the old heaven.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're in that right now. You know, we're in somebody else's heaven, and there's no equality here either.
That's right. You understand? Let's keep reading. Verse 2.
So verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city.
The holy what?
The holy city.
That's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be. It's going to be a literal city with gates, with walls, just like they did to DC. What happened at the what happened when they put all the fences up and they had the National Guard blocking the city? What happened? January 6th. Brother, after January 6th, they turned DC into a closed off city. Some of y'all don't remember, or you went outside like that. I remember they had tall fences everywhere, and then they had National Guard literally at certain parts of the city controlling the flow of traffic. If they could, brother, they would have built a wall around DC if they could. Well, that's what the kingdom of heaven is going to be. It's going to be a literal city. Think of DC. Just imagine DC, but DC now with walls, blocking Virginia, blocking Maryland, blocking everywhere around. You understand? John saw the holy city. Go ahead.
New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem.
Coming down from God out of heaven.
This city was coming down from God. You don't die and go up. That's a Christian slave garbage. You don't die and go up to heaven. No, heaven is coming down here, right here on earth. A physical, real life city. Keep reading.
Out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Meaning a bride adorned for her husband. Women get the most beautiful when they get married. And the Bible is saying this city, this new city that's going to be the kingdom of heaven, this city is not going to spare any expense. It's going to be the most beautiful city you've ever seen. You read down in verses to talk about all the precious stones and gems and rubies and diamonds, streets of gold. This is not figurative, brothers and sisters. I remember the Christian church had me believing we was going to die and go to heaven in the sky. There's going to be some road of gold, but it wasn't real because we in the sky. Nigga, this is literal. This is literal. You know how you know this is literal? Donald Trump has a toilet made out of solid gold on his jet. You mean to tell me we're not allowed to get roads made out of gold? I think we are. There's enough gold to do it. You just don't know it because the white man is greedy. Go ahead, Shapa.
Salak, my man. Also, when it says prepared, you know what I'm saying? Would that be also what we're doing right now? We're preparing the city for like we getting rid of all the non-brotherhood, this, that, and the third, so we'll be able to run the city.
Yes, we in essence, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me get my words together. That's an excellent point you brought up. For those that may be confused about what we're doing in the UPK, you're not in the UPK to be saved. You're in here to be the government of this city. You understand? Being saved is the Bible says all Israel going to be saved. You want to be saved, just go follow the commandments and do what you want to do. Because all Israel going to be saved. Now, however, if you want rulership in the kingdom of heaven, that's what we're here doing. That's what we're practicing for. That's why we have our ranks. That's why we say Khan on Khan. That's why we have our councils, the different everything we're doing in here is preparation to be the ruling class, the government of the kingdom of heaven. So yes, we are preparing it, but there's another preparation too that we are not going to do. And that preparation is the labor. We ain't doing that. You understand? That's what Africans are for.
Okay.
Brother, I watch videos of African women carrying all types of large jugs on their head. You're going to carry them bricks to this wall. You East Indians, you Asians, forget about white people. That's what y'all are for.
Right.
To now build our city. Who built DC? Blacks and Hispanics. Who built New York? Blacks and Hispanics. Who built Chicago? Blacks and Hispanics. It only makes sense that, again, everything is just that. Just turned upside down. That's justice. Keep reading.
Concert.
Let's skip me down to verse 4.
Concert. Verse 4. And God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
This is not saying that we're gonna live forever. Again, Christianity makes the Bible into superstition and fairy tales. I remember being in church and thinking we was never gonna die. That's not realistic, brothers and sisters. You're going to live a long time, but how are you going to live? How do you live forever according to the Bible? When it says you shall have everlasting life, what does that look like in real life? What does everlasting life look like in real life? Microphone.
Keeping the commandments.
That's true, but what does that look like play out in real time? You gotta lay this out for a Christian to see what this will look like in real life. You understand that the Bible says we will have everlasting life. So a Christian in their fairy tale mind thinking, I'm going to live forever. I'm not going to die. That's not real life. Go ahead, Shapa.
Sir, it's a woman, but I give the Queen of the Queen of England is a good example. She died at the age of 90 with her grandkids all around her, but like everlasting life, you're going to come back through the seed of your father, but you're going to be in the same position that you left off. That part is going to be everlasting.
So what?
If you're ruling when you inherited the kingdom, your family's going to stay on that level. So when you're born back into the kingdom, you're right there where your life was.
That's everlasting life. You talk to these white devils that have money, brother. They don't have money because of hard work. They have money because of what some devil did 5-6 generations ago. That's everlasting life. Where now what we do right here will secure your lineage for the rest of human history. Meaning we're in the government right now, brother. We're fighting to be the ruling class. Once Christ get here and Lord allow we get those seats, those crowns, your children are going to sit, your son is going to sit in your seat. After you die, your grandson going to sit in that seat. And guess what? You're going to come back into a family of wealth that you established. You're coming right back into wealth. And here's how wealth works, because white people know this. It compounds. It gets more and more and better and better. We're going to have everlasting life in that way. You're just going to be born. You're just going to, after this and Christ established the kingdom, and after you die, you're going to be born into a family, brother, you ain't going to know what you did to deserve this. You're going to be looking at your life and you're just going to be like, I don't know what the hell I did to deserve such a good life. Because that's everlasting life. Being born into a family that never experiences what we just read, the tears and the sorrow and the crying and the pain, the former things. Being born into a family where all you know was good things. All you know was the luxuries and wealth. You don't even know how good these white people are living. You have no idea. We will, though, in a second. Go ahead, Shapa.
It's like, if I may, saying you could be born back into that same family, and you're gonna be hearing stories and be able to tell your friends, yeah, my great grandfather was the mighty Captain Chaazaq, officer.
Yeah.
The mighty officer Chaazaq Imad.
That's right.
And they're gonna know who you are.
That's right. We talked about that before, Shapa. Brother, what we're doing right now is you're setting up the history. Okay, imagine this. You a white man in America right now. Imagine how you can boast knowing that you come from the lineage of George Washington. And I know this because there are white people who know they come from, my great-great-grandfather was John Hancock. Yeah, we got land out Mount Vernon. We understand, like, that's what it's going to be like. What you're doing right now is going to be written down for your great-great-great-grandchildren to now make reference to. Dang, how your family get so much money? Oh, my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was Trooper Izun. And so my great-grandfather was Young Man Gary, was Officer Shapa. That's what everlasting life is. Where now, because of what you did, with the sacrifices you made now, secured your lineage. And that's what you have to understand. The crimes the white man did before secured the life that they have now. And so the good things that you do will secure your lineage. That's everlasting life. And that's why if you're watching this, you should come in here. Because whatever seat you get in that kingdom, that's the seat y'all gonna be in. You don't want to be low. You understand? You don't want to be Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Okay, just like in America, you got rich white people and white trash. You don't want to be Israelite trash in the kingdom. You understand? You don't want to be on some trailer park in the kingdom of heaven. You still will have Israelite privilege over everybody else. But just like in America, there are white people right now, brother, that live in shacks in West Virginia and trailers. They still got privilege over you. They say you stole from them or you raped them, you going to jail, you getting killed. But you compare their life to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. I think I would much rather be Jeff Bezos than some hit white boy in West Virginia. That's what we're doing in here. We are securing a seat where we're not some Israelite trash in the kingdom. We are the ruling class. All right, skip me down to now. Let's read this right here. Verse 11. No, verse 10, please. 10 to 12.
Okay. Book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and shewed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
So now John is carried away and showed what this city that is going to be the kingdom of heaven, where we will dwell. You understand what this is? He's being showed what it looks like. He's going to describe it. Keep reading.
Oh God. And had a wall. You said go straight to 12?
No, 11.
Okay, come, sir. Verse 11, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
It's the city was such a sight to behold because of its beauty and riches and splendor. Keep going.
Verse 12, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates.
Hold on. This city, this kingdom of heaven, is going to have a wall great and high. White people, I know you understand the purpose of a wall because you voted Donald Trump in office because he promised you a wall to keep out my Hispanic brothers. Build that wall. We're going to build a wall. We're going to keep all the illegals out there, bad hombres. Yeah, you know what the hell a wall's for because you wanted a wall. You're going to get a wall. You understand? And you're going to be on the wrong side of that wall. Hispanics, blacks, Native Americans, we're going to be on the good side of that wall. The kingdom of heaven is going to have a wall high and great. Read.
Oh God, and had 12 gates.
And this wall that is protecting this city is going to have 12 gates, 12 entry/exit points. The best way to picture this is to think of when you're going from Mexico to the United States, you have to go through that entry point, that what's it called? Not a toll.
Order.
Got the technical term for it. You understand? It's an actual term for it. But think of when you're going from Mexico to the United States or vice versa. Usually Mexico to the United States, that's a gate. That's a gate. And you don't just go through that freely. There is security, there's verification. Well, the kingdom of heaven, this city that we're going to have is going to have wall, a great high on all sides. But it's going to have 12 gates, 12 entry and exit points. Let's read who's going to be the security at these exit points.
Come, sir. And at the gates, 12 angels.
Yeah, I want you to understand. Your ICE agents and your Border Patrol ain't got nothing on our security that we're going to have. It's going to be 12 angels guarding these gates. Keep reading.
Okay. And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Customs, the water Kwamada, customs. That's the name, customs. That's the checkpoint, the gate. It's going to be 12 custom points on our city, our large city. The Bible even describes the dimensions of the city. That's how you know it's literal. The Bible gives you the literal length and width of the wall and how big the city will be. You understand? Ports of entry, customs is the word I was looking for sure. Well, brother, each one of these points of entry is going to have a name on top of it. My question to all you that believe white people can be saved or anybody else, what gate will they enter in? Because there's only 12 of them for the 12 tribes of Israel. So what gate will white people enter through? I'm from the tribe of Judah, and I'm just letting you know right now, you're not entering through the Judite gate if I have my way. You know, so you might have to try one of the other tribes. I don't know. Our son, they might be a little lenient on our son's side of the wall. I know that's right. Or why did he tribal Gad? They might be leaning on Gad's side. They might have to try Gad. You understand? And who else? We got Benjamin in here. Benjamin might let you through theirs. I don't know. But if we ask each tribe, I highly doubt that tribe is going to let you heathens come through their gate. You're not coming through ours. Go ahead, Shapap.
It's like about me. It only said 12 angels. Now think of the multitude of people who might be trying to sneak in the gate, and you just got one angel at the gate, and that's all you need.
That's it.
That angel gonna terrify if somebody try to get up in it. It ain't gonna be no storming the gate.
No,
ain't gonna be no January.
Ain't no sneaking and none of that, bro. This is angels. Remember, these aren't physical beings. These are celestial beings.
Right.
That's here, brother. I highly doubt people even want to go to the gate.
Right.
But the angels are going to be there nevertheless to ensure this is not for you. All the beauty in this city, you can't get in, but that's what you will be able to do. You will be able to bring your goods to this gate. You ain't gonna be able to come into the city though. You understand? And the kingdom of heaven is for God's people, 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
If you believe any other people can get into heaven, tell me what gate they coming through. We just read that there's only 12 gates with 12 names for the 12 tribes of Israel. What gate are they coming through? Of course, anybody that tries to say a gate's name, you make them prove it. I've heard somebody once, he was a bug out. He tried to say they gonna come through the gate. I forgot what gate he said. They gonna come through Naphtali. Prove it. Where you get that from? Prove it, nigga. Of course, he just saying something because he can't just be wrong and admit he's wrong. Of course, that's nowhere in the Bible. They're not coming through because those gates are for the children of Israel. That city is for you. The kingdom of heaven is for you. You think it's fair for white people to get heaven again with you? No, that wouldn't be fair. You white people wanted to build a wall to keep Hispanics out, and then you get to be inside the wall with Hispanics? Get the hell out of here. I ain't serving that type of God. I'm telling you straight up. If that's the God that you tell me I gotta serve, then I'm serving Satan. You understand? If the God if you telling me that God wants me to be in heaven with white people, then I'm serving Satan. Thank the Lord. That's not what the God of the Bible wants. The God of the Bible wants white people to be away from his people, servants and slaves. You understand? To never have power. God doesn't want white people to have heaven with us. This is your heaven right now. And we see what you do when you have power. You molest children. You make everybody pay. Poverty. Brother, they building data centers all over. This is something I've been researching. Virginia has the most data centers in the entire country. That's why your power bill is so high, if you're wondering. If you're wondering why that power bill is so high, it's because they building data centers and it's polluting the water, polluting the land, noise pollution, your power bill high, and we just supposed to suffer. The white man is not allowed to be in rulership ever again after this. Go ahead, Shapap.
It's like about me. It said Most High Christ, said the Lord preserve these records and command to the Yahanna holding this truth, saying so we no longer have to wonder if heaven got a ghetto.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And if heaven did have a ghetto, we wouldn't be in it. You understand? That ghetto will be for them. Thankfully, heaven will not have a ghetto. You understand? Heaven will, however, have slave quarters. You understand? Heaven, however, will have plantations. You understand? And when we leave our city, you understand, to come check on our heathen territories, you will have slave plantations and slave quarters. Everybody type a fire emoji in the chat if you made it to the end of the class. Salaki for going over. You understand? I apologize. The water for everybody that tuned in. The water to everybody that liked the stream, and big shout out to those that shared the stream. You understand? Doing your part and pushing this truth, putting your brick in. You understand? I see you, Dolphins last. Mario, Leviathan, Halaka Mun, Chaazaq Wana, Arawadia, Dolphins last, Maria, Kayabath, Barak Wana, Sharab Bath. You understand? Give back what you stole, fool the wise, warrior of Yahweh Shai. Judah 725, Trooper Shakat. The water for all y'all tuning in to the end. Salaki for going over. You understand? I apologize. Please forgive me. Kwama Da. With that, we're going to pass the class over. I gotta get some to eat, Shakat. That's what it is. I'm tongue tied 'cause I need some fried chicken, brother. That's what I need. Yeah, we can get that's it, brother. That's what we need. We need to make a stop at Popeyes or something, brother. When we leave here. You understand? With that, we're gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shapataya.
Security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Yahanna. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, if the brother or sister, after the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Oh, and once again, Commander General Yahanna himself will be coming down to the DC area, you know what I'm saying, to celebrate this feast of Salaki. The closing of the Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath, Feast of Unleavened Bread, sundown, Sunday, April the 12th, 2026. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, May the 31st, 2026, start before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. Once again, Commander General Yahanna will be in the DC area. Come on out, you know what I'm saying, to see Commander Yahanna, you know what I'm saying, and celebrate this real biblical holiday with us. You know what I'm saying? Also, we're in cookout season. We got the what is that? Tennessee?
Yeah, Nashville.
We got the Nashville, Tennessee cookout coming up July the 4th. Make sure you make your travel arrangements, book your hotels. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be live out in Nashville. And then after that, we got the Philly cookout coming up. Got it in Philly this year. So, like, sir, is anything else you want to add?
No. Just pay your tithes. Put where your money is where your heart is. So you can't claim to love the truth and then you ain't putting your money there. That's universal. You understand? Wherever you put your money, that's what you care about. So pay your tithes.
Come. Remind Document Aquat and check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband, and a scarf. With that, I say I like you, which means to stand.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat. Mike. Barak. Yahweh Shimmy Yahweh Shabrak.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabrak.
Yahya Matah. Class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. We out of here. All right, let's get up out of here.